What if to go to a business broker or M&A advisor to sell your business and they say, sorry, we cannot sell your business. Your business is not sellable, or at least not at the price you have in mind. That is when you might need help from an exit planner, or maybe you want to be proactive and start planning years ahead. Exit planning is what I'm going to discuss with my today's guest. Welcome to Business Beyond You, the one-stop hub for insights, conversations, and perspectives business owners need to build businesses that last beyond them. Hi, I'm Sara Vaziri, M&A advisor in the state of California, and today my guest is Melia Sent. She is an exit planner with NAVIX Consultants and has been a business advisor and consultant for over 20 years. She has assisted businesses with growth, profitability, restructuring, and exit planning. Melia, welcome to Business Beyond You.
Thank you, Sarah. Nice to be here.
So I was telling my audience that there are times that business owners come to us to sell their businesses, and we do evaluation, of course, and we say them, sorry, I can't sell your business because of these red flags, or I can sell it at this price and they want two times of that price. That's the time that we tell them, no, there are things you need to do in the business to get you to that valuation you have in mind. And exit planners are the specialists who can help with that. So, as somebody who is in this field, can you help us understand what is the structured exit planning versus a traditional way of selling a business? What does that exactly mean?
Exit planning takes a lot of preparation and strategy. And the sooner you do it, the better you will be prepared because you never know when you have to exit. Okay. Sometimes it's unexpected. So exit planning actually starts for what we do. We start from A to Z. We don't just look at the financials. We look at the health of the business. We look at the operations of the business. We also even separate how owners run the business versus the business itself is running. So we separate the two and make sure that everything is going smooth. They have their operations intact, what it should be. They have their up-to-date financial reporting, and they have the audits in check if it's needed for the kinds of certain kinds of businesses. And we make sure that they are growing. So a lot of times a business owner are just growing, and sure, their business profitable. They say, hey, why do I need to prepare anything? It's going great. I see all the profits. Yes, but the back end of it, the reality in the back end, it's not there. So to an owner, it looks so profitable. Look what I'm making. Look at the lifestyle I'm about to lead. I've been leading. But yet to an outsider, to a buyer, or even sometimes to their partners, they know what's going on. It's not healthy. And how is the business running? So there could be times a business owner is actually the key individual that's holding 40 to 50% of the customer. Well, who's going to buy that business if it's all about the owner? So a lot of times the owners do not see this. They just look at what they're taking home, and their lifestyle. They think it's fine. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, their books and their operations and even their contracts, and they don't have anybody in place a replacement in case anything happens of employees until business owners tend to run on fires. Does that make sense?
Yes. So, how does exactly engagement with somebody like you look like? Like, let's say that I'm a business owner. I contact you today. What do you do at the beginning? What are these gaps that you guys usually talk about?
We have what we first do is we do a deep dive analysis of you and your business. We have at least a 90-minute conversation deep dive, and we use a proprietary scorecard where we take a look at what is it you want to do with your business, how do you want to exit, and what would make you happy, and what would be happy to for a new owner, and what does it look like, or if it's a partner, or even if it's a family member, your son.
Hmm.
And then we take a look at what have you done internally, and like I said, operationally, financially, do you have reporting? And we look at, okay, we even ask and look at their succession planning. What's it going to look like post exit for you?
Hmm.
Are you prepared for this? Because a lot of times a business do not sell uh, for many reasons, okay? But one of them could be at the tail end when you're getting ready to close that deal. The buyers say, I mean, the sellers say, oh no, what am I going to do? I can't sell this business. So we really make sure we deep dive into every little piece of the owner's perspective and the business, and if they have partners or if they're selling to family members, that everybody is ready and in sync. And
Hmm.
you have everything in line on the back end.
So you not only talk about the business situation, but you even talk with them about the plan they have for after the sale to make
Absolutely.
sure that, okay, so that way we can avoid those kind of last minute, oh, I didn't sleep last night and I was thinking what would happen after I sell my business, and then they get cold feet. So you address that from the beginning and help them bring that up and think about it from the beginning.
Correct. Correct. And when we work with them preparing their exit, we work with all their other advisors too, to make sure like they have the right entity in place. They have all the legal contracts that they need with whether it's their clients, the key employees. We make sure that they have even their estate planning done, a living trust, and so forth. So, yes, so we do from the complete package A to Z to help them prepare. So
Mhm.
there's not going to be any little question at the end of the day.
So how many times you have gone to a business and they were completely ready and didn't need you? Does that even happen?
That is actually very rare. There's always something that they haven't thought about. So
Hmm.
when we do the first analysis with the business, when we finally get to talk to a business, be face to face with them, whether it's on Zoom or in person, when we do that deep dive, there's always something that's missing.
Hmm.
So it's a rarity, I'd say maybe, 5-10% of the business that
Hmm.
has planned out everything. So again, whether they are deciding to sell to an outsider, even partners or employees, or even their family members. Um,
Yeah.
and honestly, when they're selling to their family members or partners, when it's an inside sale, whether it's partners, family members, employees, there's a lot that they didn't prepare. It's amazing that you think, oh, they're more prepared. No, they're not, and they
Yeah,
don't
so
even
and
prepare.
it's not strange because any business has a lot of daily problems which are priority for any business owner. They rarely have time to come out of the business and start thinking strategically about everything and planning. Most of the times they're just in the business planning the details and day-to-day problems they face, which every business owner always faces. So, how long does this process take? What can you do in 1 year, 3 year, 5 years? How far before getting to that exit, owners need to work with an exit planner?
So I could tell you the minimum. I mean, this is rare, but I can tell you on the average, we actually work 2 years with a business owner, with a client, before they are ready to, exit. Minimum would be 6 months, if that. But again, average is 2 years, but it could be as long as even 5 years sometimes.
Yeah.
So
There
the
are sometimes, like as I said, we see some red flags as you gave us an example. It's rare that a company has 50% of their sales to one customers, and we can say, yeah, there are in very rare, industries that's possible, but most of the times it's a red flag for the buyers. What if they lose that one client? So there was situations that we refer them to an exit planner. There, it took them 3 to 4 years to replace that one big customer with the smaller ones, and then they came back and we could sell them at a much higher price. So we face that situation often ourselves as well. So what about we touched it a little bit, but tell us more about the emotional challenges that you see business owners have when they are thinking about selling their businesses.
so let me give you one example. Is that sometimes you get an unexpected buyer. You not even thinking about, oh, you got everything ready. I'm going to sell today. And then an unexpected buyer comes in. Let's say two partners, and this is an example of a real life situation.
Hmm.
So one is an older gentleman, and he was ready because someone thinking about selling. Okay. And then an unexpected buyer came and offered him, an unexpected offer. The offer was much lower than he wanted. And he had a partner who was much younger than him, probably
Hmm.
about 20 years younger, who wasn't ready to exit. So there you go. There's the dilemma right there. So what do we need to do? So there's definitely that emotional stage, right? You have the younger partner who's just not ready to exit. What's he going to do? He's got 20 somewhat years, to still work. He's got kids and they haven't gone to
Family to
college yet.
support.
Yes, exactly. So we worked with them, and we again the price wasn't what the older gentleman partner wanted. So we worked with them in reinventing their, not reinventing, but restructuring what they needed to do to get to the value that they wanted. So we worked internally with the operations, financial piece, and just getting everything in line with contracts and other pieces. And then in the meantime, emotionally, we work with the other partner to get him ready as well.
Hmm.
So it took a span of about 2 years to work this through.
Hmm.
When we did this, so the original offer was about 11 million, and then so when we did this, you had 2 years to get the other partner ready who wasn't ready. Okay. Then at about 2 years time, then we end up getting the offer that they both were satisfied. And at that time, it gave some time for the partner, the younger partner, to be ready to exit. And they successfully sold it at 19 million.
Oh, okay. Just in 2 years.
Yes,
It's worth
that's a big
spending some
difference.
time to get 8 million more.
Exactly, exactly. And I will have to tell you that it was sold to the same buyer.
Exactly the
Originally
same
offered,
way.
yep.
Wow, that was a great example.
Yes, that tells you why you need to prepare for an exit. You never know when you get an unexpected, unsolicited buyer or offer,
Hmm.
and you should always be ready, and be at the front of your game,
That's
always.
great. That's great. That's why we like to get referrals from exit planners because you guys have done all of the hard work. And when it gets to us, then we don't have any bad, feedback to tell the sellers because you have solved all of the problem and now we can do our job great because we don't have any of those problems.
Exactly, exactly. And another one, let me give you this other example because this is a common, as you know, a lot of baby boomers today own businesses. They own over 12 million businesses. In the next 10 years, next 5 to 10 years, they're starting already now to exit out. So it's very, very important. But you don't have to wait till at that age. You should start, especially if you're over 50, you should start thinking about it and preparing for
Mhm.
this. Every business is going to exit at some point. Doesn't matter how, they will be exiting. Anyways, so this owner unexpectedly fell to illness. In fact, it's more than one owners. I can tell you, they end up having an illness, right?
Unfortunate.
Yes. And so you never know when you have to sell and you don't want to. But unfortunately, this one owner did, he got better and he was able to, revamp the business, clean it out, what he needs to do, and get the valuation he was happy with. And he was able to retire with the business.
Yes, a lot of times that's unfortunately the problem. We had a situation, I can remember it was during COVID that they asked for our help. We went there, the owner passed in the business, and unfortunately, you could see his notes on his table. But the problem was that the only person who had password to all of the websites, emails, even everything was him. Nobody else had access to anything else. So
Yep.
it was a disaster. A business you could sell as multi-million
Yep.
dollar, we hardly got anything.
Yep.
The wife was desperate. She just was go out of all of these people asking for their money. Landlord wanted their money. So it was a very bad situation. So I totally agree with you that every person needs to be ready to exit at any time,
Yep.
no matter what.
Yes, because we don't know what to expect, right? Life is so full of expectations, right?
Awesome.
Or
Yes,
surprises. Yeah.
unfortunately. Yes. Melia, thank you so much for your time. Tell our audience if anybody wants help for doing exit planning, how can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me. You can email me at itsbusinessadvisor@gmail.com. Very easy. So again, I'm Melia, and last name is Sent, Tsen, and I'm with NAVIX Consulting, NAVIX, and you can find me on their website as well. Or you can reach me directly at 949-637-2624. And
Thank
I'll
you
be
so
happy
much.
to do and the analysis we do is free, by the way, complimentary. So if they,
Nice.
yes,
Why
because
not using it?
exactly, it puts at least a bright light or it gives them an indication what they need to work on.
Yes. Thank you so much. And we will add your information under the video. Again, thank you for joining us in this episode of Business Beyond You.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.